I'm running for the mark, I'm running for the goal. I'm speaking from the heart.
What's going on, everybody? This is your bro, Omega Sparx. This is another episode of the Unleashed Podcast, limited series podcast, teaming up with Holy Culture Radio. And this has been an absolutely fantastic experience. I've had the privilege of talking to some of my favorite artists, and now I get to talk to this amazing actor, this brother. We've been supporting each other on social media for years. He's been doing great things, and he's in a who's who of movies on Netflix, movies that's been in the box office. He's a walking platform himself. So Unleashed Podcast, I want to introduce to some and celebrate for everyone, Brent Moore Gaskins. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, King. Thank you for that introduction, man. I feel like I'm on the red carpet right now.
There you go.
Or getting ready to receive an award or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was looking at your IMDb today, and I'm getting caught up with the journey, and that's what it is. It's a journey, and I you know, as I'm learning more about you myself, full disclosure, I want this conversation to be a time where I get to learn and celebrate about your journey. And I can already say with confidence, thank you so much for being a believer in the acting industry, in the film industry. And with you know, not only does Brent Moore Gaskins, not only is he a dedicated actor, he also has his own platform, Amethyst, that we're going to talk about today on today's podcast. And, with the Unleashed Podcast, we like to talk about faith. We like to talk about the X's and O's of our craft, whether you're, acting or doing music or you're in business. We like to just shine a light on the talents that God has invested in us. And I just love the fact that you are a walking brand. You're a walking platform, because it's one thing to be talented. It's another thing to be to make the journey for others coming behind us a little easier. And right. So I just celebrate that in and of itself, because not everybody has the forward thinking. Because a lot, let's be honest, a lot of people, we're caught in ego. We're very self-important, but for men and women that can create platforms for other people to strive on and thrive on, I just want to give you your flowers on that. That is amazing. But I want to start out initially on the journey. What sparked your curiosity, your love for acting, and tell me about the humble beginnings.
Okay. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island, youngest of 9.
Yeah.
The baby boy, six boys and 3 girls.
Yeah.
I had a brother named Joe. He's deceased now.
Okay.
Joe Barry Shiggs. He loved music. He would lay on the couch and rock. Yeah. And smoking cigarettes and just rock and listen to his music. Well, he was one of my primary babysitters growing up in Brooklyn before we moved to Camden, South Carolina at the age of 6.
Okay.
So part of his babysitting for me was setting me in front of the TV with a pile of comic books. So the comic books, Marvel, DC, Archie, just piles of comic books. Like, he was a collector. Like, he had them all. So here I am, this, 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid, very intelligent, reading these comic books.
Wow.
Traveling to these distant universes.
Yeah.
I got all these powers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I'm reading, I'm putting myself in the character place, whatever character I wanted to be in whatever book I was reading. Right. And I I felt the emotion in the face. Like if I'm the Black Panther and I'm in the episode where I got on the glove that can, control the universe, or whatever scene whatever I'm reading, if he's fighting, then, I'm, as a kid, I'm like, I'm looking at the picture in the comic book and then I'm imitating it. Yeah. Kicking, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And trying to flip, busting my head, falling off the bed. But that was my start, because the reading allowed me to dream. I knew that even as a kid in Brooklyn, there was something bigger than the projects.
I see.
Yeah. There's a whole big world out here. I read about all the different cities and countries and different languages and stuff. So, as a kid, I'm opened up to that. So that was my start. That was my start.
And now, how surreal is it? Fast forward years later, decades later, you have roles in Wakanda Forever, Avengers Endgame, Captain America 3. So tell me about the surrealness of growing up with comic books, being whisked away to those worlds, and just basically letting your imagination just run wild. And now, you get to actually help paint those same worlds in theatrical releases. Tell me about how surreal that is.
It's crazy, because with that start, as this kid reading these comic books and watching these TV shows and putting myself in place of these characters and actors and stuff, then you fast forward, here I am now, a young adult, intelligent, in the advanced classes, the AAP classes, SEGO, special education activities geared for unique learning, gifted and talented and gifted, tag, GATE. I'm in these programs as a kid, so I'm intelligent. And because of what people only chose to see in me, they gave me a direction as a young adult. Go to college, get a good job.
Yeah.
The regular train everybody else rides.
Right.
But there were things that happened that changed that course and pointed me back into the direction at the age of 48, after I did what everybody else said I should do. Corporate America, banking industry, sales with Verizon, awards here, promoted here, mortgage industry. It went belly up, one thing after another. You know what I mean? And everybody would always be like, well, why don't you keep that job? Man, that was a good job. You should have. That wasn't part of my plan.
Right.
It was meant for everything that happened was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen.
And nobody could see it but me.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy? Family, friends, they're giving you advice the best they can, what they think will work. But they're not speaking to that special place in your heart. They're not cultivating that imagination. And, and it's often lonely sometimes when something that no one else is paying attention to. But that takes courage as well to say, there is something different that God has invested in me. And the fact that you started going towards the direction of what you feel in your heart at 48, there's a lot of people in that situation where, they spent their 20s and 30s and most of their 40s going about, life the way they think, or how their parents and their siblings taught them. But it was something else. There was a whole nother gear that only them and God were privy to. And so speak to the people out there that's like, hey man, I'm 35 years old. I am 48 years old. And I know I got a different calling on my life. But it's so tough because, none of my family sees it. And if I step out and I jump out here into this industry or into this atmosphere that I feel I'm called into, it's going to feel lonely and people are not going to understand me. Like, speak to the people out there because they're listening to your story right here. And I'm sure they're being blessed by it, but speak to them how they can take that step, that leap of faith.
Okay. I
think you already are speaking to them, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm gonna back you up only because it was one of the first major pivots in my life where things were a huge challenge. Like, most 14 and 15-year-olds that I know don't experience what I experienced at my age.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I want to respectfully show your audience something that's on my chest. I want them to see it. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Because we talking, let's have a good show. Let's be real. Let's okay. So, all right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, can you see this?
Let me see. Oh, wow. Wow.
Right.
My gosh.
Both lungs.
Both lungs. Yeah.
As a teenager.
Jeez.
They told me you won't be able to do this. You'll never go into the military. You shouldn't worry about college. You should just focus on healing. You got your life ahead of you if you do this and you do that. And this was in high school, W.J. Keenan High School, Columbia, South Carolina. But it collapsed first when I was in middle school in Camden. At Camden Middle School was when my lungs collapsed the first time. And then it collapsed again in high school, and then it collapsed again.
Okay.
So I had these surgeries, corrective surgeries, where they went in, they found out that I had air bubbles on my lungs from birth, and they did the surgery to correct that. And so went in, take the lung out, take a rolling pin, like a cooking pin that you roll dough with,
right.
But it's got to imagine it with a million needles on it, tiny needles, to make sure all the bubbles were burst on the lung, and then treat it and then put it back in my chest and then sew my chest up.
My God.
So they said, you'll never be able to do this and you'll never be able to do that. At the age of 23, I decided I wanted to go into the military. Wow. And I go to MEPS at Fort Jackson. This doctor, black lady, thick glasses, very thick glasses. I know guys that went in during that time. This was in the 23. So this would have been 1990.
1990. Okay.
And she looks at my and you go into the MEPS, and everybody's in there. They strip you down to your tighty whities. You're standing there and you're waiting to be looked at by the doctor.
Right.
So I step up and she see these marks on my chest, and she's like, denied, boom.
Wow.
And I said, is there any possible way that I can still come into the military?
Wow.
He said, you can get what's called a congressional medical waiver from your congressman. And whatever stipulations that the military puts in that waiver, if they approve it, you got to meet those stipulations, and then you can join the military. And that's how I went into the Army Reserves in 1990. And that's when Desert Storm kicked off, when I was in basic training. So, and I didn't go to Desert Storm. I didn't get to see no action over there. I used to tell wonderful stories that I did, lying my behind off, but that was back then. Yeah, but no, I never went to Desert Storm. But
that lets me know, like, so beyond acting, beyond the comic books, beyond the imagination, God has put the secret sauce that God has put in you. And when someone says you can't do something, or tries to narrow the lens of your capacity, you fight against that.
Yeah.
The facts and the stats don't matter. It matters what's in the heart. And if I see myself being able to do something, I'm gonna go after it. And so I see now, just from that testimony, and thank you so much for sharing that. Geez, that's the secret sauce. I feel like that's inside of Brent Moore Gaskins. Wow, we just get to experience that on the big screen, on Netflix, through through your love for acting. But beyond it, isn't that awesome that what God puts inside of us transcends even what we're doing, even what we're called to do. That's the secret sauce. You just taught me that just through that testimony. That's amazing.
Right. So let's come back forward to, your question. So when I get booked, okay, when a production, a casting director or whoever, when somebody reaches back out to me and tells me that I am booked, I don't take that slightly.
I got you.
See, there's a lot of things that we as human beings tend to always want to categorize and put things in the box and put things on a level and have a first place and have a top level and a bottom level, a rich and a poor, a black and a white. We always want to have things that separate and divide us. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
So because we departmentalize and accept what they told us to departmentalize, I don't think people see the reality of when you are booked in a movie as an actor, and that's non-gender specific. When you are booked as an actor,
right?
Do you know how many other people did not get to get booked?
Yeah, hundreds
in that role,
thousands.
It doesn't matter if your background.
Right.
Captain America 3 Civil War, I was background. But guess what? I see myself in the movie.
That's right.
I was able to screenshot a picture of myself and Scarlett Johansson sitting on the next level behind me.
Come on.
Very nice human being, by the way, who I got to say hello to, and she spoke back and didn't act like, oh, well, I'm an A-lister with lines and you're just background, so I'm not going to speak to you. She spoke to me, and we were in that scene together when the explosion happened that killed John Connolly, the Black Panther's father. So I've got other screenshots in the movie of Chadwick Boseman talking to John Connolly, and I'm walking by in the background.
Yeah.
To me, that's huge.
That's huge.
And if I'm standing there in that position, in that moment in time, when that movie was being made, compared to the kid that came from Brooklyn who dreamed about this.
Yeah.
And for years after graduating from high school, followed other people's paths, which all led and came to the same exact end.
I love it. Wow.
So even when I became homeless in 2015, when I first started acting, I still did not stop. Again, there were voices saying, you're intelligent. Man, you're a certified master mortgage underwriter. Why don't you just go ahead and get a job? And you won't have to be homeless anymore. And it's amazing how many people of faith will sit down and tell you to your face, well, I did what I did because God told me to do it. But yet when it's your time to do what God told you to do, now it's unbelievable. Now they think God has something else for you. Now God is communicating with them more about you than he is communicating directly with you. They have more insight to your path and your journey that God called you to, that he gifted you with and gave you talent for, which is going to make room for you. But we have a society that says, if you're a man, then you do this. You got to make this certain amount of money. You got to be a provider. You got to make more money than your female counterpart. And you got to leave the home, and you got to provide and protect and this and that and this and that and this and that. But we also live in the same society that systematically has things set up where that's not achievable for us. Not very easily anyway. I mean, it is achievable. Don't get me wrong, but there are things in place that can cause that to be a hindrance. And the strongest part of any people in any community is being connected.
It's being connected. Yeah.
It's being connected. Community. Commune. Community. People don't commune in communities. They don't commune. Right. They do for the parade, maybe, but they don't commune. When there's not a parade, why can't the community get together on social media? Most communities have a social media platform and say, hey guys, this Saturday, everybody, let's just show up and let's sit down and have some coffee, or let's go and support one of the businesses in our community that's suffering. Let's flood that business today to make sure that they don't have to close their doors.
Sound like kingdom to me.
or let's go downtown and clean up our town square. Let's pick a weekend, guys, and let's just get together. The city ain't always got to be responsible. We live here too. Right. Let's go and pick up trash. Let's go. Hey, who got some spray washers where we can spray wash these sidewalks? What business do we have that can offer maybe some touch-up paint for some of these businesses right here in the square of our city that people drive through every day? Yeah. Why does it always have to be, we're going to leave it to the city and then you got to submit this, vote for that, wait for an answer. Everybody's got to agree when it can be done yourself.
Yeah. Geez, I Brother Brent, I love how you think. I love how you think, which I want to talk about Amethyst. Like, what was your, now, you have some great acting credits. You're building up your IMDb. You're a part of the acting community. You're an official SAG actor. What led you to find success on Roku TV and start your Amethyst platform?
Okay, awesome. Yes. During the pandemic, I had an iPhone that someone bought me.
Okay.
And during the pandemic, I asked Siri, I said, hey, Siri, now that we're in the pandemic, what is everyone doing?
Good question.
And at that time, Siri said, at home watching TV. And I said, wow, if I could get a TV channel and make it very affordable and trajectory easy for independent filmmakers and music artists to have a place to monetize their content where they don't have to sell out to the big machines who you don't know who they are at the top. You have no relationship with them. You don't know their name. Yeah, you don't. They don't specifically promote your content. I remember reading about Maverick Films, 20,000 pieces of content. I think it was sold for like 400 million.
Okay.
And none of that 400 million, I don't recall it ever being reported, any of that 400 million being dispersed as a bonus or a thank you, or I appreciate you for you allowing me to create a company that was worth 400 million that someone was willing to buy. So there was no share to the content creators.
Right.
I watched several of my friends create content that went viral on YouTube, over 1 million streams. And then they got on social media and bragged about it. And I did my research. And if you got a viral video with the proper amount of viewing hours and subscribers, a viral video is somewhere between a $3,000 and $6,000 check. Well, your viral video on my platform, if we were doing business like I hope the independent community would have jumped on and everybody, we would have made a big deal out of it. Your short film on my Roku channel at $1 with 1 million people buying it would have made you $800,000 versus $3,000 to $6,000. So again, it blows my mind how we could see, but we can't. And I was in a lot of independent content right there in North Carolina. And I was like, wow, this is a good place to start. I know these people. I'm in their projects. Matter of fact, I executive produced some of their projects. I put money on the table, or I provided something that they didn't have. And that was one of the credits issued to me by helping in their project. So wow, even in 2024, I've talked to different directors, independents right there in North Carolina that I work with. And I say, hey, man, we did this movie 2-3 years ago. Why hasn't it been released yet? Like, what are we waiting for?
Right.
And this director tells me distribution. Distribution. I got a channel.
Here you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did this guy really just say distribution? When I've had this channel for years and I've been telling everybody who I make a project with, especially if you're an independent,
right?
Hey man, I got a starting place. I'm not saying you got to exclusively be with me, but I got a place that already has a name. It already has 81 million households attached to it.
Right.
So now all we got to do is spend some money on promotions. Now we got to let this 81 million household know that, hey, there's a new film on there you should check out, and it's only $1.
Yeah.
But again, people don't want to spend money.
People don't want to spend money. They don't want to spend money, and they want to keep it safe. As a music artist, it's similar to Spotify, and Spotify is a safe place, but Spotify pays like 0.006 of a cent, per play. And, speak to that. It's funny how you have a platform, you have a viable business that people can actually become content creators and get their indie film in, millions of households, but they got to go off of the beaten path of what they think is safe. But then there's fear. What is it? What makes people stutter step when you create a platform and they're still kind of hesitant to connect with you and build from the ground up, as opposed to jumping on a platform but only getting peanuts and nickels for their content? Is it fear? Is it brand loyalty to the other big corporations? What is it that makes them hesitate?
I think it's a combination of things. I kind of feel like for a lot of people, you have to be you got to be one of the brand names, for some of them. We're building a bigger network. It'll premiere next month. We'll have the Roku, Amazon, the Google Play, the YouTube TV, the Apple TV. So it's going to be bigger. It'll be more than 81 million households. We'll have dedicated channels just for music. And again, if you're an independent, $1. Let's spend some money on promotions. I VP a global promotions company with 281 million in our metaverse. That's English Promotions with Lisa English MacArthur.
Come on.
So promotions, global promotions is there. I tell filmmakers all the time, I'll be like, hey man, they'll be like, hey, I want to put my content on your channel. And I'll be like, okay, You're gonna pay this as an onboarding fee because someone is gonna take their time to take your content and put it up there and let it get encoded and make sure the metadata information is correct, making sure your logo images is correct. Someone's working doing that, so they're gonna get paid for it. And I'm not gonna just pay them out of my pocket because I like you or you're a great guy.
Right.
So let's do business. So you're gonna pay an onboarding fee. One of the things that I primarily ask of people is if you want to bring content to my network, have some money for promotions. Yeah. And then, you'll have a director say, hey, we don't have $500. And I'll be like, okay, man, let me ask you a few questions because I'm very good with numbers. That's why I became a certified master mortgage underwriter. I love numbers. I said, okay, let me help you out. Let's go to your IMDb and look at your cast and crew. Let's count how many people that is. Okay, so you got 73 people attached to this project. We're going to make this $500 simple. You take that $500 and you divide it by those 73 people and you get together in a group chat with those same people that you was working with, filming it, putting it on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else. And you tell them in that group, you got a chance to put your project in front of millions of people for $500, and you need everybody to chip in whatever that number comes to. You need everybody to chip that in, and you want to get this completed in a week. Now, if the people who are a part of your project don't have enough in them to give you a few dollars to make all of y'all dream come true, then you filmed with the wrong people. Got you. Same thing with music artists. Let me tell you what I can't stand to see when it comes to music artists. Talk to me. I see up-and-coming artists, right? Do a beautiful song. It could be rap, it could be whatever. And this artist is up and coming, and they spent their $5, $10, $15, $2,500 to pay this much bigger artist who has a much larger influence to feature on the song. The bigger artist says, okay, yeah, drop me 10 stacks. I'll record my 16 bars, right? Yeah. That gets done. They may shoot a music video separately. They may shoot one together, or the big artist, their voice may be in it with maybe just 1 or 2 cameo shots, and they're in and out, right? For that $5 or $10,000, whatever it may be. Then I go and look at the up and coming artist page, and they're promoting this song like crazy because they got this big artist attached to it. I go to the big artist page with 5 million followers, and they have not mentioned this song nowhere in any of their posts whatsoever. At all, yeah. There's no live video saying, hey, I was just a feature on the up-and-coming artist Omega Sparx song that was made for this, and this. And I'm telling you guys, my 5 million followers, y'all need to go buy it and y'all need to go check it out. That's what I don't see. Yeah. They take the money and they roll out. It's a job. Yeah, they're done. They're gone. Yeah. They're gone. Yeah. So when you're spending your money, and I tell people, I said, that's when you have to start making adjustments. So now for that $10,000, your contract, your agreement should read that this big talent that you're paying this $10,000 to should be required to do a video drop. Should be required to do up to 3 postings on at least 3 of their platforms. There should be some requirements, not just, oh, guess what? We got Big Stank Dookie coming on our video, and y'all need to be there. And then you have 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people get excited, but that's nothing compared to the 5.5 billion people that have access to the internet. Yeah, that's the truth. So it becomes a numbers game. Yeah. So again, 73 people can't come up with $500. That's not going to be out. That's not going to be myself and Ebony Joy, my fiance, my partner and everything, and my acting coach, that's not going to be our problem.
There you go. There you go.
And now you got folks who, again, they're putting their content on these other platforms where they have to have at least 1 million views before they start giving they start getting advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the network is not promoting the content. Now that's you and the people who made the film. It's up to y'all to now start promoting it.
That's right. That's
right. And that's half done because, again, I follow the projects that I have been in.
Right. Right.
I do the research and see who's been posting it, who's been sharing. Mm-hmm. And that part is free.
Right.
And people ain't even really doing that.
And they're not even really doing that. That's
do the math. If you take 73 people who all have social media pages, at least two, at least a Facebook and an Instagram, so that's already double. That's 146 right there already.
Yep.
146 different 146. Everybody tag. You can tag up to how many people on Facebook? 99.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people. Now, if they all do that and instruct those 99 people to at least all of them do the same thing at least once, right, and ask their audience to do the same thing at least once, now it starts to exponentially spread and you've got a viral situation. Yeah. But when that ain't gonna happen, you got companies like English Promotions LLC that you pay us a fee, sign a contract, because you can't just promote anybody. You have to have an agreement or a contract to show Meta that you're authorized to promote this person.
Right.
This ain't no game. This is a business. This lady, 9-10 years in business. But again, you got to be able to spend the money.
You got to spend the money. And
you got to let people know.
And align yourself with people that want to do the work. I can't tell you how many times I've put out a song and God bless the people I'm connected with that I made a collab song with. They may post it one time or not even post it at all. And I'm like, what was the point of us doing a song together if you don't have, if there's no faith behind the song that is going to reach thousands of people, that's going to actually make an impact in the culture? You know, I think it's fear a lot of times. And it's movers and shakers like yourself that understand. Excuse me. It's movers and shakers like yourself that understand the costs, not just the financial costs, but the being purposeful with, you know, pushing it forward. And it's a lonely road sometimes because people want the instant gratification. People want the results, but they don't want to put the time and money in. And I think you're dropping nuggets of wisdom in what you're describing, not just in the acting and the film world, but also just a beautiful parallel to the music game as well. And you're absolutely right. They'll spend, you know, all their savings to get a big name artist, and they don't set up a contract to, you know, set stipulations, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is crazy. For 2025, with your platform, with other film productions that you're a part of, what are you looking forward to the most in this coming year?
Oh wow, man, there's so much. I'm a work from today and move forward. If I could remember all of this.
Yeah.
So I actually was on my laptop earlier trying to pull up my IMDb to look at what I had that was upcoming.
It's beautiful. Over 60 acting credits. It's beautiful. As a music artist, I got a little IMDb too. I got like 30 credits on different like video games and TV shows. But, you know, like I'm looking at a real actor's IMDb page, and it's beautiful. You've done a lot of great work over the years.
Okay, so here's what we got going on. So today on Netflix, 688 drops by Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, yeah.
All right, so I'm in that. All right. I'm I'm looking at my IMDb and it says upcoming 8. So the Christmas slasher, I was hoping it'll be released this Christmas. I don't know.
Okay.
When you got a movie with a specific title like that, it makes sense to drop it.
It does.
Close to, so I don't know. The Hunting Wives is a TV series.
Okay.
That's coming up. Giggles, I actually have to still film my part for that green screen, and I just found my green screen.
Okay.
So I think Steve Wallet with Furious Nerd Productions is going to be, he's going to be happy about that. Grits and Eggs, I just talked to that director last night, and that's actually coming to the network. That's going to be on the network.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Heading West, I think they're still raising money for that. Black Tent, same thing. My Mother's Prayers, I'm hoping in 2025 we get that completed. That has an awesome storyline to it. And man, let me tell you, I got a small part in there because I'm just filling in to help create a scene. But that movie is nice. That's by Tamika Green with I Am Chosen Entertainment, and Ebony directs on that project. Yeah. And then let's see. Naked Gun, the reboot. I'm in that.
You want to reboot a Naked Gun?
Yeah, with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let's see.
Man, I'm excited for you.
Then January the 17th, we have an event here. Myself and Ebony, we are ambassadors to a choir here called the world-renowned Russ College A Cappella Choir. They're the only college choir, the only HBCU in the United States that's attending this elite choral competition in Verona, Italy. So we're helping them to raise money. So we have an event here in Holly Springs on the 17th. Let's see. January.
With that choir, is there any plans for there to be a documentary for with that choir as they progress through that event?
Absolutely. They go in March of next year. We're in the process of raising money. We actually have a verified GoFundMe set up. But they're doing well. I think they're doing pretty good, and I do believe that they'll reach their goal. But this event that we're having on the 17th, that'll be televised live. It'll be pay-per-view. Okay. And of course, the proceeds will go toward helping the choir get to Italy.
Great. Wow.
Let's see. What else we got here? I got to look back at it. Sorry, guys.
No. It's time to celebrate. That's great.
Yeah, I've got a few projects that recently dropped. By Days Into the Midnight Butcher, A Mother's Day by Fred Forte, When First We Practiced to Deceive by Glenn Roberson, Civil War with Kirsten Dunst. I'm the only injured Marine. I did see myself on the trailer. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I may be in the movie. Let's see. That's
a Power Pack 2025.
Yeah, so that's
exciting.
Yeah. So 688 today. It's supposed to come out today
on Netflix.
On Netflix.
I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer, and I've seen the display on Netflix for weeks now, and so I'm excited to watch that with my wife this weekend. I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
So for people that's looking to get into acting, and even music artists or content creators, talented folks that want to try their hand at acting, what are a few nuggets to kind of fast track their journey?
Okay, awesome.
Falls to avoid.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would say, if I'm brand new right now and I don't know anything about acting or in the industry and I don't know anybody, everything to me is going to be blind. I feel like start with somebody you know, start with somebody who knows somebody, and get it from people who are doing it right now, so to speak, who are on the ground. Sometimes when I first started, man, I would jump in different people's inbox who were already doing it. I used to, long time ago, I actually used to talk to Tiffany Haddish about acting because I was being considered to be a stand-in for Faison in that movie called Juno about that missing cat with Key and Peele. So we ended up talking for a little bit, and she was telling me how, just stay busy, stay working. She said her aunt would call her and say, hey, you got 14 checks in the mailbox. And her aunt would take the checks and cash them for her. She paid her to, but she said, stay busy, keep working. And then, of course, she started getting big. She hooked up with Kevin Hart, and she just, and then we lost contact. It is what it is. But yeah, I would say try to talk to somebody who's already in the business that you know. Like, in my mind, there would be no reason for you to go blindly trying to figure out how to be an actor along with being a music artist when you know me. For you to call me 3 weeks later and be like, hey man, I went to sign up with this company, man, and they got me for about 400. Man, I don't even want to hear it, bro.
Right.
You know me. Like, why are you doing that? Right. So I would say find somebody who's already out there doing it. Ebony's my acting coach. I feel like I have the talent and the gift, but I wanted that to be refined. So when you see me book, that means I did an audition that was acceptable and her hands are on it and in it.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah. So she's got I think three or four students right now. Get some coaching up under you. Get some coaching up under you. Definitely. If you got a chance to do theater, I did theater in high school once or twice, The Fiddler on the Roof. My character was a character named Malachi Stack. I was at Eau Claire High School when I did it. I remember that.
Okay.
In the 10th grade, Eau Claire High School, the Shamrocks. Go Shamrocks. But I respect people who come from theater because they're taught a lot of technique, and that technique weighs very heavily with some of the best actors and actresses you see now. Theater. So if you got a chance to do theater, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Making a mistake only shows that you're human and that you have an area that you need to improve in. Gotcha. Go back to the drawing board. Wow. Look at successful people. Don't sell your soul for fame. Nobody should be having sex or giving you money for you to get a role. None of that hanky panky stuff.
Right.
Stay away from couch directors. Stop being secretive. Stop going places by yourself and no one knows you're going. If a person asks you to meet them at a hotel or at a house, no. Just be careful because there's a lot of snakes out there, and they're looking for easy prey. They're looking for people who want to be famous so bad, right? And some people want to be famous so bad they tell you what you can tell them in order to convince them to get them where you want them. Yeah. And I experienced that yesterday in a Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. Ran into somebody that I do know, but somebody who was with the person that I do know was like, oh my God, I want to meet Tyler Perry so bad, and tell Tyler Perry, da, 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 da. And I was like, there's no one person that can make or break you in this industry. That's now, right. I know we hear people blackballing people, and yeah, I get that part. But in the reality of it, there's no one person that can make or break you in this industry. Even if right now I got blackballed in Hollywood, I'm happy making local films with independent filmmakers, putting it on my channel, it monetizing, everybody come up, and we press repeat and do it again. I'm not locked into any systems.
Right.
You can't hold me hostage. You know what I mean? I've come through a lot of things, homelessness, like I showed you, my lungs collapsing. You know, a lot of things. Being incarcerated for 6 months for child support. I've been through a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? So don't give up. Don't give up. Be smart. Ask people who already are doing what you want to do, that you deal with, associate with. You've been knowing them on Facebook for 3-4 years. Stay, work from your toes out. Be safe. If something seems unbelievable, you know, get 3 or 4 people to find out, see if it's unbelievable to them as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just be careful, be safe, but don't be so hungry to want to be famous to where somebody sells you a story, what you want to hear, and they draw you in. And next thing you know, don't nobody see you no more. And it happens, bro. You got people out here sex trafficking. You got people out here cutting up bodies and taking out organs and selling them on the black market. You got to be careful. Period. Period. Period.
Wow.
Yeah. And expose the culprits, the ones that's doing it, so it don't happen to somebody else, so it don't happen to your best friend, your aunt, your uncle, your mom. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of times we let stuff happen and we don't say nothing. You know, I'm gonna pray about it. No, you need to say about it.
Yeah, you need to talk up.
You need to talk up. I went to this audition, and this guy's a couch director. He tried to sleep with me, and you know, was pulling at my clothes and this and that, and offered me money. Tell on him. And the men need to stand up, man.
Yeah.
The men need to stand up. The men need to stand up.
Yeah.
Need to stand up.
We don't talk about this stuff enough. And I just in this conversation, in this 40-minute conversation, you've raised so much awareness. You've dropped so many nuggets. I just wanted to just sit back and listen. But, where can for people that are not following you yet, where can the good people follow you on social media?
Okay, I have a page called Brent Moore Gaskins. We're friends, so follow them. So go through Omega Sparx page and look me up. Don't just go out there searching, because I had 4 pages that got hacked.
Okay,
so you gotta make sure you're the right one. So go to Omega Sparx page and look at his friends list. Put in Brent, the name you see right here, Moore, Moorer, Gaskins. And let's do it that way. And on Instagram is Brent Moore Gaskins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brent Moore Gaskins, I thank you so much for your story, your contribution.
Thank you, King.
I've learned just in listening to so many amazing stories just in this conversation. I've learned that, you know, God gives us gifts without repentance, but the special sauce to a lot of people, especially bright minds like yourself, is just the tenacity to never give up on your dreams. To, you know, even when life tries to knock you down, you're not gonna stay down. And I can just tell that through the stories that you've shared with us today. And I thank you for your contributions. Just as a brother of mine, thank you for just supporting me as I'm going through my life and stuff. You know, I look at who likes and loves comments and who just put a comment on my posts and stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff keeps me going. So I just thank, as brother to brother, thank you for being a wonderful brother to me over the years. But just more importantly, thank you for just your contribution to the world. And everything that you're excited about, the new Netflix show dropping today, and everything you've done, everything you're going to do in 2025, it's just yes and amen. And I just pray that you just have a wonderful time. And I'm thankful for the people that's not going to fall prey to the industry.
Right.
They got a Brent Moore Gaskins in their life, or they listen to this podcast.
Right.
And you've given them not only hope, but you've given them nuggets to survive and to strive in the industry. And so I just thank you so much for your time today, you know?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the audience that has been supporting you. You know, I tell people all the time, 6 strangers will actually carry you in the casket and put you in the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
But you can't get 6 good, solid people to sit down. Here's what's shocking, and I'm going to leave with this. When I was telling people that I was an actor, I had evidence that could not be refuted that I was an actor.
Right.
And they still didn't help me.
They still didn't help you.
How many millions of views or how many millions of plays? Just throw out a number. It ain't got to be accurate.
Right.
How many millions of plays does your music have?
A lot of millions.
No, give me a number. I want your audience to hear a number.
Okay, 20 million.
20 million.
Yeah.
Out of that 20 million, man, you trying to tell me somebody in that audience ain't sitting back there, man, with the money to put you wherever you want to be to do this thing. So, and you got a message. You ain't just out here making la da da la. You ain't just making music. You're making music with a message.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned in the music industry, man, is the greatest artists with the greatest messages, man, their music is not highlighted. We get all the trash and garbage.
That's true.
That's what we get. I would love to see, I'm going to end with this. I would love to see you, Gifted Hands,
okay,
and D1.
Oh, yeah.
And a guy named Classified with a K.
Okay, we're gonna look out.
He's on the song. He's on the song called "How You Make It" with Gifted Hands.
Okay,
listen to that song. I would love to have the four of y'all, man. I could see the four of y'all, bruh, killing it. I'm talking worldwide tour, man, because collectively, all of y'all offer the same thing. Y'all, I would call y'all the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John tour. I sure would.
Wow.
That's what I could see happening. But look up Gifted Hands.
I will.
Classified and D1.
Classified with a K. Okay.
With a K.
With a K. I'm gonna look up my brothers, and hey, you never know. You might have spoken into existence. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I tell you, that's a whole other topic, Brother Brent. I mean, it's funny how what is destructive for our community and for our culture gets to shine, gets to highlight, artists that talk about, glorifying their bodies in a way that's destructive to their future, destructive to their future families. Those type of messages get highlighted in our communities, but, messages of faith and hope, and you still being authentically yourself, and having a good time, but doing it responsibly. Those messages, songs that have those messages, they get drowned out a lot of times. And that's why I'm thankful for Holy Culture Radio on Sirius XM, that, that's the backdrop of this conversation today, that, we are just like yourself with Amethyst. We're getting a space in the game, and brothers like yourself is not doing it selfishly, but you're creating a platform that if people invest in themselves, they're going to be able to see their content get to the ears and the eyes of so many people that they can't even imagine or fathom. But so I just thank you for being an awesome brother in the fight, and the future actors and content creators is going to be able to excel in this industry because they know you, or because they're on your platform, or because they heard this interview. And so I just thank you so much for being you,
Yes, sir. Thank you. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to your audience. And I know and feel in my heart of hearts that something I said will help someone.
Yeah.
This is so much easier, man, if we do this together.
Yeah, it is.
It's so easy. I mean, I look at ants all the time, man. Like you don't have a million ants sitting on the side, man, eating fruit, and one ant over here building the mound by itself, man.
Right.
Come on, man. I mean, God has shown us in so many different ways what it's supposed to be. Nature is balance, A lion will kill another animal to eat, or maybe in self-defense. But a lion ain't going out here killing another animal just to kill it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everything is balanced, you know? And what it don't eat, now you got other insects consuming it. You got buzzards coming in, you know, you got flies coming in, you got maggots. Everybody eats off of one animal, but it's a cycle, and it's a respected cycle. You know what I mean? So
right.
Human beings, man, we don't respect anything. It's all about us. It's all about our creature comforts. It's all about our brand names. It's all about how big our living space is. You know, how many clothes we got in the closet. You know, when's the last time you actually just went into a store, man, ordered your food, paid for it, and then just told the person at the register, hey, give me a ticket that you got up there.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Give me the ticket. Boom, pay for it. Who does the ticket belong to? Right there. Okay, boom. Here you go. Your ticket's your food's been paid for. Have a nice day, and walk out. Or you at the grocery store, drive-through, gas station. It doesn't matter where you at, man. You can always be a blessing to somebody, man. Yeah. I don't care where you're at. There's a lot of restaurants right here in the town of Holly Springs, man, that feed people in the community that can't afford to eat, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
They feed them. They make sure these people eat every day. People over profit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Purpose over everything.
Purpose over everything. Wow.
I mean, what church you go to that says you see somebody hungry and you got the resources and you can walk right past them? What? Show me. I want to see the God that you serve.
Right.
I want to show me him. If you got pictures of him, show them to me. I want to see him. I want to call him up right now. Let's talk to him. I want to know who your God is that says it's okay for you to have everything that you got, but you can't share it with anybody else. I want to meet that God.
Good God.
I want to see the people who you fellowship with, because all of y'all got to be thinking the same thing. Because I need to know who to stay away from. That's right. Why they said 77 million people left the church. They didn't say they left God. They left the building.
Yeah. Good God Almighty. I want to thank my guest, my esteemed guest, Brent Moore Gaskins. Again, thank you for just being you. Thank you for everything you've shared on this interview. And we're going to support you. And I'm sure we're going to be supported by you. But we're going to support your journey even more. And I just pray you have an awesome 2025, sir. Thank you for your time today. This is the Unleashed Podcast. I'm your host, Omega Sparx. Check out the wonderful, amazing journey of Brent Moore Gaskins. And
thank you.
Check him out on Netflix this weekend.